entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzlies homer, Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, we are talking about the Memphis Grizzlies kicking the Milwaukee Bucks' tails all across the Bluff City. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
Piano.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so good, yo. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat, straight from Tennessee. Demorant spiking, let's go, boy. He that MVP.
I told you guys, every night in the NBA is a chance to see something special. Last night was everything I would want it to be, and it was nothing like I thought it would be. I did a whole video about the Jaren and Giannis competition or comparison and how this was a chance for Jaren to break out, and he ended up in foul trouble, and Giannis ended up having a subpar game for him. However, our Memphis Grizzlies still put their foot in the behinds of the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, it was a game that was just unreal from start to finish. It was a game you could tell the Grizzlies had some time off. Their legs were a lot fresher than they had been. The guys that were off the game before, they played very well. Morant played with probably the best pace I've seen him play with all season. He ended up with a triple-double in this game, a 25, 10, and 10 triple-double in 3 quarters, only 26 minutes of playing time. But the star of the game, even though Bally's gave the star of the game to Morant, the real star of the game was our tone setter, the villain. Dillon Brooks set the tone from the opening tip in his suffocating defense on multiple-time All-Star Chris Middleton, a guy who's not only playoff tested, NBA Finals tested, but NBA Championship tested. Dillon Brooks has shown over the last couple of weeks that he is up for the task on any matchup in the NBA. Like I said, the only matchups he probably can't handle at this point are Embiid and Jokic. I wanted to see him get a chance at Giannis because I told you guys he's done that in the past. And it seems like Jaren, Steve-O, and Dillon Brooks were all in practice trying to see who would get the opportunity to guard Giannis. That's what kind of team we have. Now, Jaren got the assignment to start, got in foul trouble, and then they put Steve-O on him. And Steven Adams was up to the task defensively. He had a Jaren-like 5 blocks, only 6 rebounds, 4 for 8 from the field, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. There you go, Steve-O. For 10 points, a very good defensive game. He was able to do the one thing that a lot of players are not able to do with Giannis is take that hit on his drive and not give up a lot of ground. And that seemed to bother Giannis a lot. You know, teams used to have the strategy against Giannis of setting up the wall to stop his drives? Well, Steven Adams was the wall. Now, other than that, you had Brandon Clark, 6 for 6 from the field, 12 points, 6 rebounds. Tyus Jones, 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 3 from three-point land. Just some absolute bombs he was shooting. It was like having Desmond Bane out there. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, plus 32 for Tyus in 19 minutes. Crazy game from him. Like I said, Dillon Brooks was 7 of 14 from the field, only 1 of 4 from three-point line, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. But again, another game with 4 assists, 0 turnovers, 18 points. This is a crazy level of play for Dillon Brooks. He just brought the intensity, and I can tell you what he brings to the table is not easily gotten in the NBA. Jaren Jackson only played 13 minutes. I think he had like a free throw in the first half, got in foul trouble, ended up with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 fouls. He was plus 16 in his minutes. And when he came out in the second half, after having foul trouble in the first half, and hit that three-pointer early, it set the tone. The team looked for him to get him a shot, to get him going. He hit that 3, and it set the tone that we're going to keep this thing rolling. Now, although he did get his 4th foul, and I don't even think he played again afterwards, it was a good tone setter with that three-pointer. John Conchar, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 1 from three-point line, 3 rebounds, only 17 minutes. Santi Aldama, another good game. 14 points for Santi off the bench, 3 rebounds, 2 of 3 from three-point line, 4 of 6 from the field overall, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover. But we have to look at the development of David Roddy. David Roddy was 7 of 13 from the field, and that was with being 1 of 6 from three-point land, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 15 points, which was a career high for him. And like I said, the NBA took notice of this win. If you listen, if you're on the Twitter sphere, like a lot of us are, and you listen to a lot of podcasts like some of us do, and you notice that the NBA at the fan base, because it was only 4 games last night, 2 kicked off at 7 our time, and 2 kicked off at 8. So our game was against I think it was Houston and I can't remember who Houston played. Houston and Miami. So that game, Miami won 111-108, but that game wasn't going to get much play. This was an anticipated matchup. Nobody expected it to be a blowout, but people wanted to see the matchup. So a lot of people were tuned in early, and I'm sure a lot of people at the end, when they realized the Grizzlies were not going to relent, went on to watch the Pelicans lose again to the Jazz. Thank you, Captain Conley. So this was a huge game. The Grizzlies now sit on top of the Western Conference, alone in first place. They are now a full game ahead of the New Orleans Pelicans, a game and a half ahead of the Nuggets, 2.5 games ahead of the Phoenix Suns, 3 on the Trailblazers, 3.5 on the Sacramento Kings, 3.5 on the Jazz, 3.5 on the Clippers, 5 games up on the Mavericks, and 5.5 games up on the reeling Warriors. The Timberwolves and the Lakers sit just outside the play-in at 13-15 and 11-16 respectively. But this was the Grizzlies taking a game seriously. And you know, we watch the Grizzlies. We all watch the Grizzlies, and we love the Grizzlies. And we've watched them. And we can tell when they come out BSing in a game, thinking they can play around. And you can usually see it when Ja Morant has a lot of turnovers in a game, and it's not that much defensive pressure. That means that he's not really, really locked in like he can be. But last night, he was locked in. And you saw a quintessential Ja Morant game, 25 points, 10 assists, basically what he was in college. And I think that's who he is in reality, a 20-plus point per game guy with double-digit assists who can turn it on to close out games. Probably like closer to what he was his rookie year when we came up with the moniker fourth quarter job, where he was one of the top scorers in the fourth quarter as a rookie. I think that's who he is. I don't think he's this 33, 34-point game guy that, dominates the ball for all the game. He doesn't have to do that. And luckily for him, he has a team where he's not required to do that. Now, when it was just him and Desmond and, they had to outscore people, they had to do that. But I think when Desmond Bane gets up, you're going to see his assist levels go up even higher. This is a chance for Ja Morant might be able to challenge for the lead as far as assist goes in the league. I don't know where he sits at right now. We're going to look it up to see where does Ja Morant sit on the assist rankings right now. Assists per game. Let's look. Ja Morant is right now 5th in the league in assists per game at 7.9. Tyrese Halliburton leads at 10.6. Trae Young, 9.9. Nikola Jokic, 9.0. Luka Doncic, 8.7. And Ja Morant is trending up, and I expect him to continue to trend up, especially when Desmond Bane gets back. But it's going to be interesting to see. The Grizzlies are about to head out on a nice little road trip, a little road game to Oklahoma City. And then they're going to come back home to Memphis. And let's see, the schedule is going to kind of tighten up a little bit. We've had some easy games, so they're going to go to Oklahoma City, and then they go out west to Denver, Phoenix, and Golden State on Christmas. So they won't be back home until after Christmas. The next 3 games are on national TV. You got TNT, ESPN, and then the Golden State Warriors game is on ABC. So, yeah, man, it was a great night. And I told you guys, I think I mentioned it to I might have mentioned it in the chat that I'm in, that had about a week left of the Grizzlies being under the radar, because they've basically been under the radar. The Pelicans were the team of the week last week. And if the Grizzlies win Saturday against Oklahoma City, they will be the team of the week going into next week. So we're going to see how that goes. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.